Hey. Welcome back to It Takes a Village. And you already know that we celebrate community, empowerment, and all things self care up in here, right? Listen, I'm Coach Val, your good girlfriend. And as you guys already know, I just want to welcome you to It Takes a Village. Listen, it's been my heart's desire to help women, help my sisters break the shackles. I want to help you change your mindset and maybe even your life by helping you discover you guys self-care and how that thing just might be the missing link to the joy that's in your life. So here we are tonight, once again in the village, and I got a special treat for you. All right, so y'all go ahead, pull up a chair, get your journals out, do all the things, get ready, because we're gonna have a good time tonight. But what I want to do is I want to welcome our very own Nikki Morton, aka Coach Nikki M. Nikki, welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you here today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Ooh, listen, I don't like to waste no time. I don't like to waste no time. So
Okay.
if you would, let's get on into it. And what I want you to do, if you would, is share your story with us on how you became a transformational coach. Okay.
Yeah. So I always tell people that I became a transformational coach very purposefully and intentionally. I know some people will say, oh, I happened into this or I happened into that. I didn't happen into it. I purposefully and intentionally stepped into it. I became a certified coach around 2018. And it really started with just a passion that I had to really want to help people see themselves beyond their boundaries, beyond whatever barriers that they felt were in their way. And really, some of those barriers are often self imposed and self created. And I really wanted to help people see beyond their boundaries and barriers. So I absolutely intentionally chose that path and got on that path of coaching.
I like that. You said I did this thing on purpose. I didn't happen into this. I didn't fall into it. It was a
Mhm.
thing I put my mind to and I set out to do it. I like that. I really like that. So, you said I'm a transformational coach. So from your perspective, excuse me, tell me what transformation, what it really means in the context of coaching and what makes it different from just setting goals.
Yeah, so I think one thing about coaching, just to be clear, and this is something I really had to learn and get really good at, is coaching is not about giving people the answers or telling them what to do. It's really about being on the journey together and exploring, and we explore what you want to explore as the client. We, come up with action plans. We come up with ways that you want to move and change and show up different and be different, ways that you want your life to be different. We do that together. So I don't tell you what to do or how to do it.
Yes.
Okay. But I do explore what your needs are, what your desires are, where you're trying to go and how
Hmm.
you're trying to get there, right? And
Right.
so that's what really transformation is about. It's about, first of all, changing your mindset, and then your behaviors follow. And it's about that repetition. When I think about goals, goals are good. There's nothing
Yes.
wrong with having goals, but goals are sometimes more about like hopes and wishes. It's 2024. I've had a goal to lose my COVID weight. It's still sitting here. Okay. Because it
Right.
was a goal, it was a hope and a wish.
Hmm. Hmm.
Really, transformation is about setting a standard.
Come on.
And it's a period at the end of that sentence. Transformation is not about a hope or wish, it's about a standard. And that's different from a goal.
I like that you said, in this coaching field, it's not about giving you the answers, and I like that because I agree, even in my coaching practice, it's not about me saying, well, girl, if I was you, I would do this.
Mm-mm.
That's not it. But when you start asking the questions to make them think about it a little bit more and they can pull that answer up out of themselves because most of us already have the answer in us.
Yes.
So we really kind of already know the answer, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes until you say it out loud, right? Until you
Right.
say it out loud, it just kind of sits dormant. Nobody has to know. But once you've said it, it's out there now.
That's
Now
right.
you got to do something about it. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that so much. So when we had spoke before, you mentioned that you believe or you teach about what you described the seven most important ways that healthy boundaries are linked to self care.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about that some?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay. So if you don't mind, what I'm going to do is the seven that you shared with me. I'm going to
Yeah.
tell the listeners what they are. So if you guys are out there and you've got your notebook and your journal, and I'm hoping you do, write
Mm-hmm.
them down. And then as she goes through, you can begin to put down those nuggets that she drops. Okay. So there's seven most important ways. Or Coach Nikki, you want to tell us what they are? Just give us the subtopics real fast.
Yeah, real quick. I'm gonna give it fast, but I'm gonna try to pause so that we can write it down because I want you all to take some notes. So the seven most important ways that healthy boundaries are linked to self-care. The first way is your emotional well-being.
Hmm.
Okay, that's real important.
Right.
Number two, and Coach Val talks about this all the time, reducing what? Stress.
Yeah.
Reducing your stress. That third way is healthy relationships. We
Mm.
have had a lot of conversation around unhealthy relationships. So we're talking about healthy
I
relationships.
like that.
Fourth is personal empowerment. There's nothing worse than not feeling empowered in your own life, right? The fifth way is time management. We all spend a lot of time, we've seen a lot of talk about time spent caring for other people, doing for other people, running for other people. So, time management. Six is your physical health. And then seven, we'll talk about self respect and self love.
All right. So hopefully you got those written down. If you don't, we're going to hit them real fast. So let's talk a little bit about that first one. You said emotional well-being. Tell us, how does setting boundaries actually
Mhm.
contribute to that emotional well-being? How does setting those boundaries? What's that look like?
Yeah, so emotional well being is really almost foundational to me in terms of self care, right? Because it starts on the inside. And when you can prioritize like your emotional needs, that's a number one way that you can take care of yourself. And sometimes emotional needs is as simple as stopping to really be honest with yourself about what you're feeling emotionally and why. What is this emotion and where is it coming from? And when you set that kind of boundary around emotional well-being, what you're telling yourself is, I'm going to nurture and prioritize my emotional well-being. And then also, when you're able to do that, it really helps you create space for having like emotional stability
Yeah.
so that your emotions are not like on a swing, just going back and forth. You
Hmm.
want to have some emotional stability.
I like that. And you said, I think the key word for me was honest. You got to be honest with what it is that you're feeling and why.
Yeah,
Right? I
yeah.
think we've learned sometimes so much how to just, skip past what we're feeling, or that people have made,
Woo.
made you feel, or you feel as if people have made you feel that what you
Mhm.
feel doesn't matter. And
Yep.
so we've learned to push it down and kind of move on past it, when in fact, the more you do that, right, one day it's all going to come up. And
That's
it usually comes up about the smallest thing, the kind of insignificant, wouldn't have
mhm.
set you off any other time, but because you are, hiding and not really being honest with what you
Yes.
feel and why, then you get what people get, what they get, behind that. Do this for us. Would you share with us some
Mhm.
examples on how that establishing those boundaries can help?
Yeah, so I think one of the ways, and I guess I'll use myself for an example because I want people to know that I'm not just a transformational coach, like I'm a human being.
Mm,
And these are
right.
things, I wasn't born being emotionally stable, right? These are things I've worked on. And
Yeah.
so one of the things that helps me is I really make sure that I don't hurt myself helping other people.
Say
If
that again. I'm not gonna hurt myself helping somebody else. Okay.
if it
Okay.
hurts me to help you, then I can't help you.
Mm. Did
And
y'all hear that?
right? So
Wow.
and
Okay.
I also, and this is gonna be a hard one for
Mm.
some of us, but I never invest more in somebody's outcome than they do.
Ooh,
not as your friend, not as your coach,
Mm-hmm.
not as your mentor. I will never invest more in your outcome than you do.
Yeah.
Because
We
what?
hear people, I apologize. We
No,
hear
go
people
ahead.
say all the time, I can't care more than you do, right? I can't
You
care more than
cannot.
you.
You
Yeah.
cannot, because that is a way to absolutely safeguard your emotional health, and it helps you keep away from bitterness.
Listen, this is good. This is good because all those things, I mean, I thank God for for finally discovering what real self care looked like because I had
Mhm.
sat in all those places for so long. That bitterness, right? That you don't even let people know that it's there. You pretending that it's not, but on the inside, it's eating you up.
Mhm.
And it shows up in your behaviors at the most inopportune times.
It
So
does.
absolutely, this is good. This is
Mhm.
good. I like that. So that second one that you mentioned, that second boundary that you could put up, you said it reduces stress, and like you
Stress.
said, we talked about this all the whole month of April because baby, the way stress it's a killer. It will kill you. It
Absolutely.
it helps you. I mean, not helps you, but weight stays on because that cortisol won't move in your body, and so there you
Mhm.
are. You're retaining weight. You're doing all the things that you don't want to do. But we talked about this in April. So, but as a recap, if you would tell us a little bit about how healthy boundaries can play a role in reducing that stress level.
Yeah, so one of the key ways, and this is like very simple, it's going to sound very simple, but it's hard for people to do,
Mm,
is by you can reduce your stress on an everyday basis by not entering into frequencies of, I call it shenanigans or activities that will actually stress you out. And
yeah.
so the way that we do that most often is like we overcommit. We say yes, we really mean no.
Yep.
And that opens us up to engage in things that cause us anxiety and stress.
Yeah.
But we've done it willfully.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Willfully, right? Because like you said,
Unwillfully, willfully.
you say yes, but you meant no. You
You
didn't want to
did.
do it. You didn't have the time to do it in your day.
No.
All of those things. And so, with that being said, I think we've all been found ourselves guilty in that place. Share with us some
Mhm.
practical tips for setting those boundaries. Right there. What other tips you got?
So this is going to be one of my biggest ones in setting that boundary when it comes to reducing your stress. I cannot impress upon you enough to be authentic. That means to show up as your authentic self, even if your authentic self means, no, I don't want to do this. No, I don't participate in that. Don't be a bobblehead. Don't just say, yes, yes, yes. This is what I'm going to do. Be very much authentic. Also, I want to give you permission and encourage you and affirm you that no, just an N and an O, is a complete sentence. I
Absolutely.
know that doesn't feel good. Some of y'all went, oh, I know that doesn't feel good. And if you want it to feel better, then you can flower it up with no, thank you. But no really is a complete sentence. And go ahead, Coach Val.
No, I'm just sitting here thinking about. Girl, you could have been my coach. I'm telling you, you could have been. Because literally when you talked about not overcommitting and not just saying yes
Mhm.
to things, and you know once I learned the beauty of a no, once
Yeah.
I really learned the beauty of a no and a no thank you, like you said before, I could just say no. I did have to start with a, well, no, no thank you, I'm not going to be able.
Mhm.
I was stressed. And I will tell
Yeah.
people to this day, I have things that come up, and I'm not walking around here 100% stress free, but I don't have the same level of stress at all because
That's
no
right.
has really, really freed me.
Mhm.
No,
Mhm.
thank you. I don't have the bandwidth for that. I'm
Mm-mm.
unable. I wish I could, but I cannot. All of those things. But no, just like that.
That's right. That is right.
Oh, I love it. So when we talk about, and some of that comes from the relationships that we have, the people that are in our lives, our friends, our co-workers, our
Mhm.
family, our moms, our dad, children. So the relationships that we have sometimes cause us to, what how do we make sure that we're staying or keeping and maintaining healthy relationships with those people that we love if we're telling them no, right? Because a lot of us, we've got these people in our lives and we love them,
Yeah.
right? But the relationship isn't healthy for some reason or another. How
Mhm.
do how do we put boundaries in place to help us either repair or grow or keep a healthy relationship not only with them but with ourselves? How do we do that?
And I'm glad you added that last part when you said not only with them, but with ourselves, because your primary healthy relationship needs to be with you,
That's it. That's it.
not your husband, not your friends, not your kids, not your primary healthy relationship of human nature needs to
Mm-hmm.
be with you. And
Yeah.
so putting your oxygen mask on first means that sometimes we have to accept that we are in relationship with people who the relationship has an unhealthy dynamic. And so maybe the way that we maintain the relationship is by always saying yes to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not a good relationship because it's unhealthy for you.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the only way you can maintain the relationship, then you need to take a step back and ask, is that serving you? And so putting boundaries in place is not just good for your relationship with yourself, but the way it's good for your relationship with other people is that it really does create mutual respect.
Mutual.
Mutual.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who respects you may not like that you're saying no or no, thank you to them, but I'm going to tell you something. They will respect it,
Well, there is that.
right? They can
Yeah.
dislike it and still respect it.
And still respect you.
And
Absolutely.
still respect it. So that's really important. And also going back to relationship with yourself, let's be honest, y'all. When you participate, as Coach Val said, unwillingly but willingly in a boundary breach, you mad at yourself. You are.
Every time.
You are.
Every time.
Let's just all admit it. Let's call a thing a thing. You're mad at yourself. And then that turns into negative self talk. So
Yeah.
you're in here saying, I'm so this, I'm so that, all negative stuff. Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I say that? I should sit up for myself. Look at how now you going down into negative self-talk because you didn't have the healthy boundary in place and you didn't start with a good relationship with yourself,
Yeah.
right?
And it takes courage too to say no. And
Oh,
to those when we're talking about these people that are prominent in our lives for one reason
yes.
or another, it takes the courage to actually tell them no. And I think about a time when I was a very very important person in my life, and we were talking about something that I no longer felt safe in the space talking to them
Mm,
about it, and it took me some courage and it took me a minute, but I finally pulled myself together and said, you know what, that topic is no longer open for me and you to talk about.
wow.
That
Wow.
I put the wall up. That was it. We can't
Hmm.
talk about this anymore. I don't feel and I even said I don't feel safe in this space talking to you about it.
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
know when you and so you do have to muster up your courage
You do.
and say and put those boundaries in place. But like you said, we didn't lose the friendship.
Hmm.
We didn't lose the friendship because she respected what I had to say, and I appreciated that. I'm like, I'm not trying to fall out, but this isn't safe for me anymore.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I'm not feeling good, and when I come away from this conversation with you, so we're
Mhm.
gonna have to cut the ties on that.
That's right. Absolutely.
So
Mhm.
yeah, girl, you could have been my coach. I'm telling you, y'all. Hope you got your pencil and pen out. And you are taking very good notes.
Yes.
Are you picking up what she's putting down? Because it's good. Okay. All
Yes.
right. I love it. And Coach Nikki, when you when we talk about, putting those boundaries in place, and,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to these relationships that we're in, our friends, our family, coworkers, what have you, what does that do, and how does that, from a personal empowerment place? Because honestly, I'll be honest, I felt empowered once I put my foot down, right?
Right?
Once I said, no, we're not gonna do this, I
Mhm.
felt empowered. So in this community, in our community, in the village, I've seen a lot of ladies that talk about, feeling like their lives are out of control and they don't feel empowered.
Mm.
Can you share with us and tell us how, putting those boundaries in place could help that, help the ladies take their power back or take their lives back?
Yeah, that's a big one for me. First of all, just the mere act of setting a boundary, that is a step towards your personal empowerment. Right there. Bottom line, it is a foundational step toward personal empowerment. Also, when you create and maintain healthy boundaries for yourself, you really are like establishing agency in your own life.
Mm,
That means that you are the one deciding what you do, what you don't do, what you participate in, what you don't participate in. You're also deciding this is how I want to feel. I get to feel good. I don't have to feel overwhelmed or overburdened. So, establishing that agency in your own life, boundaries do that through personal empowerment. And also, it is a huge way for you to say that I matter because
mm,
you do, and that my needs matter because your needs do matter. And when you're able to do that, you are able, bit by bit, courage by courage, to make better and better choices that support your overall well being.
I like it.
Hmm.
I like it a lot. And I think I like it so much because I lived it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I think that that's what I'm going to tell you right now too, that I'm really liking about what we're talking about, because a little bit ago you talked about being authentic, and what you're sharing with us
Mhm.
feels like, how I know this? I didn't study this. I know this because I
I'm
walked in
telling
this,
you.
right? And I feel
Hmm.
that's always different. And I'm hear me, people on the in the here in the internet streets, hear me. I am not bashing anybody with the book knowledge, but
Right.
there is something that comes across that just grabs you by the heart, right?
Hmm.
Grabs you in your the place I know, the knower,
The
grabs me in
knower.
my knower, right? That I know that they know what they're talking about because they've walked it, and that
Hmm.
comes across as very, very real. And so I appreciate that you're sharing with us, because it doesn't sound like book knowledge to me, right?
No, it's, I'm telling you, my one of my, I think, most impactful, I think a lot of things are impactful, but when somebody reached out to me over the weekend to have a discovery call, and it was the weekend, Coach Val, and I was not anticipating, working.
Yeah.
And so my husband was like, just reschedule. And I was like, no. And the reason I didn't, other than, I'm here to serve, I want to serve my community, was what they put in their note, because you leave a little note if you choose. And their
Right.
note said, I feel like I'm not empowered in my own life.
Wow.
And I was like, I will not reschedule on this person. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because that says so many things to me.
Hmm.
When you really feel like that, and you have to feel it to say it to a stranger, right? You got to really
Right.
be feeling this.
Right.
I'm seeing somebody who, on the inside, right, there is like turmoil,
Yeah.
just turmoil, right?
Right. Wow. You know what? And like I said, it's just the compassion there. Like you said, it was the weekend, it was Mother's Day weekend, all the things. But you know what? I'm gonna put that to the side because somebody needs what I have. And
Hmm.
that's the thing from a culture perspective. Somebody needs what you got.
That's
Somebody
right.
needs what I got. Right. And so that's to me, and that's even speaks volumes to even this community. When I started it because I felt like somebody needs what I got. And
Yeah.
so And I know it, not one size doesn't fit all. So I may not be somebody's cup of tea, and that's okay. And you may not be somebody's cup of tea, and that's okay.
Hmm.
But somebody out there, that young lady that needed that call with you on that Saturday, she needed what you got.
That's right.
So I love that. I absolutely love it. You know, we so cliche out here in these streets. We got a saying for everything. We got a saying for everything. I'm gonna protect my peace. Well, what about protecting your time, right?
Yeah.
So as we talk about these boundaries and protecting our time, can you let's talk a little bit how when life gets to lifing, right? And it just doesn't feel like it's enough hours in the day. Because we all find ourselves in that space where it's like, I don't have any more time, right? But
Hmm.
you got two or three more requests. People need you for this, and we got husbands, and we have kids and jobs, and the various organizations, and all the things that we belong to, and everybody needs something.
Hmm.
Tell me about how boundaries can help us in that area about protecting our time.
Yeah. So some of y'all gonna clinch up again. Okay.
They'll be okay.
Some of y'all gonna clinch up. Time is the thing. Time is a thief. I'm just gonna tell y'all. I know y'all don't like it, but time is a thief.
Mm,
Okay. And you have to really decide how much you're gonna let it steal from you by how much you're gonna give it.
okay.
Two things to protect your time and how time management can help you with self-care is I want you to first of all prioritize balance,
Balance.
and you prioritize balance so that you can prevent burnout. And when
Mm,
I talk about balance, it's only 24 hours in a day.
yes.
Why are you trying to run 18 of them? When are you sleeping? When are you putting yourself first? And how much time did you carve out for fun? We can't have fun 7 days a week. Okay. Even millionaires don't have fun 7 days a week. They're trying to figure out how to keep that money. So we can't have
Yeah.
fun 7 days a week.
Yeah.
But if you prioritize balance, you can't say yes to everything. You can't do everything. And I know that sometimes as women, because we are so good at organizing and orchestrating and arranging, we are like everything is a four-alarm red. It's not.
Yeah.
Some of those things that you put at the top of your list really need to be at the bottom,
Right.
right?
Right.
Prioritize balance so that you do not get burned out. And that means you got to say no to some stuff so you can say yes to some other stuff.
Yeah. One of the things I like to tell people too is, ask yourself, what if you don't do it? What's the worst thing that can happen? Literally,
What is the worst thing that can happen?
nobody died, right? You know what I'm saying? But did you die though? That's what we say.
But did
But
you
did
die?
you die though? Right? It's like
Yes.
So, but what is the worst thing that could happen if you reprioritize something, this week and you didn't
And
do that thing?
run it by the four criteria. This is going to be super simple, y'all. Get your notes though, but it's
Yep.
going to be simple. Number one, you should be looking at can I do it? Like capability. Am I capable of doing all of this stuff or capable of what this person is asking me?
Right.
Two, do I want to do it? Maybe you don't want to do it. Say no. Three, okay, if yes, I'm capable, yes, I want to. The third thing is, do I have the time to
Mm-hmm.
do it?
Yeah.
And then the fourth thing, does it positively serve me? If you run it through that four criteria and any one of those things is a no, then it should drop off your list.
Wow. That simple.
It
Can
should drop off
I?
your
Am I
list.
capable? Come on, let's run these one more time.
Am
Am I
I
capable?
capable?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do I want to do it? W
Now
A
see, that's the
N
one.
T.
You
Do
can
I
stop
want to
right
do
there for
it?
me. You can stop
Okay.
right there for me.
You
That's
start
the
right
one.
there.
That's it. Do I want to do it?
Do I want to do it? Do
Okay.
I have the time to do it?
Right.
Okay. Because remember, time is a thief.
Yeah.
And the fourth thing, does it positively serve me?
Wow. I like that. I like that. I'm
Okay.
rewatching the replay on this so I can write that down because I tried used to try to take notes and my they was like don't take the notes, you're shaking the screen. Okay, so I won't take the notes, but I'm gonna run that back because yes, ma'am, that four criteria, that's your
Mm-hmm.
answer right there.
Mm-hmm.
That is your answer right there. If you're running by
Absolutely.
those four, and what you say, any one of those is no,
If it's a
you'll
no,
be
if
right.
they're not four yeses, drop that off your list.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Y'all, I'm telling you, she making it good tonight. She making it good. So listen, we want to talk about which one is this? Is this number six? Are we already at six?
Yes,
Number
we
six.
are.
Okay. So number six, she said was physical health.
Yes.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I struggle here. I was like, what she talking about?
No, you
How
didn't.
how do good boundaries help us with our physical health? Help me.
Okay. I'm going to prove to y'all that Coach Val is not struggling with this. Okay. This is how good boundaries help you with your physical health. Because when you have unhealthy boundaries, that contributes to higher stress.
Yeah.
Higher stress can manifest itself as physical ailments.
Okay.
Yes,
You.
this
Yes. I
we
say
know.
yes.
Higher stress, trouble sleeping,
Mm.
high cortisol, you can't lose weight. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You suddenly having headaches that you never had before. I never got headaches before. Well,
Right.
because your stress is elevated. Now you're getting headaches.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Constantly overextending yourself means that you could feel constantly overwhelmed. That can end up in feelings of anxiety. Okay.
Okay.
That's
Yes.
right. So you're not confused.
He said, you know what I mean.
You know what
Ah, that's it.
I mean?
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
No, I'm with it. I can dig it. I can dig it.
That's
I like it.
right.
Yeah. So listen, you guys on the out here in the internet world, I hope you are writing all these down because these are good. And if you're watching the replay, I want you to put hashtag replay in the comments so we know that you have paid attention and that you took your notes. And if there's anything in here too that you're like, oh my goodness, this is me. You
Yeah,
know, we want you to put those in the comments, all right? So we can circle back to you and say, listen, here's the answer right here. Run those four criteria by them. All right.
that's
So
right.
seriously though, on a little bit serious note, this one I think is a big one. That last one, number seven, that self-respect and self-love, because I think so many of us either have or even
Mm.
continuing to struggle with that. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more about how, or give us your insights on how the realization of this. How do I put some boundaries in here with this self-respect and self-love? What does it look like? How does it feel?
So, one of the top things that I want to impress upon our community is that thinking of you first is not selfish.
Wow. Yeah.
It really is an act and foundational act of self respect and self love. If you don't have healthy boundaries in place, it will challenge your self respect, your self love, your self esteem.
So good.
It will challenge your self efficacy. So
Hmm.
you will not have like a strong belief in the fact that you can do things, you can accomplish things. This seems hard, but I can still do it. I believe in myself. If you don't have healthy boundaries and you don't have healthy self love and self respect, it'll challenge all of that stuff.
Wow.
And so, really, having those healthy boundaries is a way of honoring yourself.
Yes.
Okay, what's more loving and respectful than showing yourself honor? And then also, it really does say to you and to other people that you value yourself enough to prioritize your well being.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
value me enough.
Yeah.
But we are often so busy valuing other people above ourselves. I'm afraid to say no because they'll be mad. Why they can't be mad?
Right. They be okay.
I don't understand. It's okay to be
Right.
mad.
Yeah.
It's an emotion. It's on a feelings wheel. It's a feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, that's a thing. We're
It
like, well,
is.
if I say no, then what? Well, let's find out. Right? Because
Mm-hmm.
let's tap into that self respect and that self love, and let's tap into honoring ourselves, right? And
Yeah.
valuing ourselves, and go ahead and say no. And we'll
Yeah.
just see. But what's
Yeah.
going to maintain is that self respect and self love.
Absolutely. Girl, that was good. I love it. You know what? You have really you have really shared, like I said, some powerful insights, some powerful thoughts. You've dropped some nuggets. And like I said, I'm really glad that you came tonight and that you're sharing this, because I just know that so many ladies in this community are
Yeah.
going to benefit from what you shared on tonight. So thank you, honestly, for keeping it real and for just kind of breaking it down for us. You gave it into, small bites so we could take it. Sometimes it's like,
Good.
oh
Yeah.
Lord, it's so much, just so much. But you gave it to us in bite-sized bits, and we were able to digest that. And I think it's enough for us to think on. Excuse
Mhm.
me, enough for us to think on to get us going. Yeah, I can do. And I like to tell people, don't try to eat the whole thing. You gave
No.
us seven, right? You gave us seven
Mhm.
areas. So maybe you can't fix all of them today,
You
right?
certainly can't, but maybe one. Let's work on one.
Let's work on one. Slice that piece of pie, right? Don't eat the
Mhm.
whole pie tonight. You're gonna be sick. But if you
Right.
take a piece,
I
if
like
you take
that.
a nice little piece, right? You eat on
Mhm.
that, you be okay. It was good. And it's the
Mhm.
same thing in this instance. If you just take a piece of it and work on that one thing, start with this. Whichever
Yeah.
one maybe stuck out to you, which one might be a pain point,
Mhm.
and work on that one. So again, I thank you for, like I said, keeping it real, breaking it down, because I think we needed help in so many of those areas, but we keep finding ourselves, needing to put those boundaries up, and we're not all the time. But listen, before
Mhm.
we get out of here, before we sign off, like I said, I have enjoyed you tonight. But before we sign off, would you
Yeah.
please tell us a little bit about your coaching practice? Is it a group coaching practice, or do you do one on one, or do you do both? Help us.
Yeah. So thank yous for that. So I do both group and one-on-one.
Mm.
For people who like are new to coaching, I always recommend starting one-on-one because I think, obviously one-on-one gives you much more kind of concentrated partnership. Obviously it's private, it's a little bit more personal when it's one-on-one. And I do have what I call my flagship program. My flagship program is called Audacious Authenticity, and it
Mm.
really is geared toward helping people establish and maintain healthy boundaries so that they can live a life that is more connected. First of all, more connected to themselves, then more connected to others, and a life that's more fulfilled and authentic. So that's my flagship program for coaching is Audacious Authenticity.
Come on, audacious. Audacious authenticity. I love it. Girl, that's good. I love it. Listen, ladies, if you are on here tonight and Coach Nikki has spoken to your spirit, spoken to your soul, spoke to your mind, whatever, please, please, please get in touch with Coach Nikki. She is waiting for you. But look, wait a minute, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Can't let you leave. Can't let you leave yet, because I need you to share with us, share with the people what you got going on. You got any courses, any workshops, any events coming
Yeah.
up? What's up?
Yeah, so couple things. I have some freebies on my website. If people want to visit my website at coachnikkim.com, there is a boundaries freebie. If you subscribe, you'll get that. But for the month of May, because May is Mental Health Awareness Month, I did a mental health freebie on there as well, so you can get that. And then in June, I'm so excited. I have a Zoom workshop coming up in June. You can sign up through my website, and that workshop is called Boundaries Breakthrough because we're looking for some breakthroughs. I'm not going to keep you on late at night for an hour. We're going to get in there. I'm going to give you some good ways to have some breakthroughs with your boundaries. And then lastly, this past weekend, my podcast launched. It's called
Yes.
Honoring the Armor, and it
Okay.
is about the armor that parents wear. So maybe growing up with an armored mother or an armored father who really, didn't give you a lot of access to who they were as a person, or maybe you
Mm.
didn't know who your mom was as a woman, you just knew her as your mom. So we have some adult children and some moms on there talking about growing up with wearing armor and growing up with an armored parent. And you can get my podcast on my YouTube channel at Coach Nikki M, and I'm also on Spotify.
Come on, girl. I
Yes,
love it. Y'all better check her out. Go to the website, sign up for the classes, sign up and get those freebies. Y'all know y'all like a good old freebie. So
that's
go on and
right.
get the freebie and all the things. Nikki, thank you, thank you, thank you for coming tonight, sharing your wisdom and your insights with the family. I
Thank
love it.
you.
Thank you so much. Is there
Thank you for
anything
having me.
You're more than welcome. Is there anything else you want to say to the people before I let you go?
I just want to say this has been such a pleasure. I'm just honored to be a part of this community. And one last thing I want to leave the community with, Coach Val said it, you can't work, you eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? So you can't work on everything. What I would offer you is whatever seven you think, ooh, that's too hard for me to do, that's the one to work on.
Start on
Because
with
I
that.
want you to know you can do hard things.
Yes, you can. Thank you, Coach Nikki. I hope to have you back in here doing something with us real soon. Okay, sister.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Listen, to all the incredible sisters in this group, I want to say thank you for tuning in. I am Coach Val, your good girlfriend, and let me reiterate to you, it is my passion and it is my mission to help women who are in the place that I used to be in. Because, like I told you guys, before I discovered self care and I put myself on my agenda and my to do list, I was broken, I was unfulfilled, I was overlooked, and I was looked over, y'all, but not anymore and never again. Because your girl, I found out that we have the power, you guys, to break shackles in and own our lives. So we possess the power to change our mindsets, to improve our mental state and how we see ourselves and how we're showing up every day of our lives. Okay. So ultimately, here's what I want you to know. We can change our lives by discovering and walking our own personal self care journey. All right. So lace up your sneakers, y'all, because we're going to walk this journey together. So if you're a coach, if you're an influencer, and you know you can be a blessing in this group and you can help your fellow sisters change her life, come on in here and share and be on an upcoming episode of It Takes a Village. Okay. You got what we need. We already talked about that just a little bit today. You got what we need. So come on and be a catalyst for change in someone else's life. You can DM me or you can click the link. I'll put the link in the comments after we get out of here. But listen, you can DM me or you can put the links in the comments and be a guest on It Takes a Village. So I've enjoyed it tonight and I hope that you guys did also. So don't forget, reach out to Coach Nikki. She dropping the gems. She's here and she's got what you need. All right. So invest in you, sis. It's past time. So y'all, until next time, I'm sending hugs and love. Y'all take care. God bless.